There's a point to cry out, which means you lift up your voice and you feel like an idiot. But this is what the spirit of religion will always do. We live in a world. Look at what they did. They warned him to be quiet. Religion will tell you to chill out. We live in a culture that says be balanced. Don't overdo it. Don't shine. Don't draw attention to yourself. All the voices started telling him to shut up. This is not a time to look like a beggar. This is the time to look sophisticated. This is the time to look respectable. The man of God's coming through. Don't look like an idiot. Don't disrupt us. He's going to look at you and he's not going to pay attention to us because you're so ugly in how you're doing this. Everybody wants you to stay at the 2.0 of the spiritual treadmill in America. And they'll tell you to chill out. It'll be balanced. You need a revelation of the grace of God. You need a revelation that you're forgiven. Don't get striving, brother. He cried out all the more. He says, y'all can play all religious games you want to. But the decades of the prison I've lived in can be solved right now. I am not in this thing for some respectable thing. He cried out all the more. Will you press through other people's opinions about you? Will you press through religion statements to you? Will you press even when you feel disqualified? Will you press when you've sinned and you don't feel like doing anything? Will you press past the voices and saying, I ain't letting go. God, I need you. He cried out all the more. That's the test. Everybody can cry out at the beginning, but when there starts coming the waters of culture, maybe your own sin comes to the forefront. Your own brokenness comes to the forefront. Will you keep crying out when there's all kinds of voices saying, just settle down, step back, you're not worthy, you'll never be. No, it's the Bartimaeuses that press through. I love this next verse. Look at this. It says this in verse 49, Jesus stood still. He didn't do nothing in Jericho, but a blind beggar just arrested him in his tracks. Jesus stood still. A beggar just arrested the Son of God. A beggar, guys, I could walk you through stories in the Gospels, you know it. Woman with the issue of blood, who touched me? What are you talking about, Jesus? 100 people are touching you. No, 100 people are around me. Only one of you touched me. We got 100 of you dancing around me. One of you touched me.